Good morning, man. Top of the morning. Yo, 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 yo. All that good stuff. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is February the 23rd. Still dealing with a little bit of some residual stuff with the flu, but I think I'm getting there. Pretty much getting there. So it's a bunch of games. I think it's like 11 games on, 10, 11 games on for today. I don't got to play on every single one. I didn't even handicap every single one, but just a short little quick best bet show that I wanted to put together for today, kind of give you guys some thoughts of what I was looking at. Yesterday, the short list went 4-2 with the first 4 plays cashing, the last 2 did not cash. The thing that I went official on and what I actually bet was Jokic up and over his points. Not his points. I left his points out because the game kind of went as I thought it would. Not as far as the side goes, because I didn't think my Lakers was going to be able to pull it out, but I'm glad that they did. The game went how I thought it would as far as, the Lakers, just kind of crowding Jokic and him having to facilitate. He didn't even get a chance to shoot the basketball a lot. So I thought his rebounds and assists were going to be a lot better than his points, rebounds, and assists. He just still did get the triple-double, but this ended up being a winner, even though they got blown out and he barely got there. So 1-0 day yesterday. Hopefully we can replicate that and kind of keep it going here today. Zach says, are you joining Kyle show? No, I didn't even know Kyle was going live. I will be with Kyle back tomorrow though. So yeah, me and Kyle will be back tomorrow. Good morning, Frederick. Good morning, Tasha. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Laquan says, good morning, Chris. Thanks for the great bets. Yesterday, Suns losing their last 5 games and opening as a favorite. Plus, you were thinking Bulls were a spot. Gave me confidence to bet the Suns. I hope to win because I hopefully I won't give you confidence to do either. I can't stand really either one of those organizations. But yeah. What's up, Marquise? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Daniel. Shout out to you for being here. Good morning, Charles, as always. GLB, as always. I know I'm a couple minutes late, so I appreciate you guys for, just kind of sticking with me and hanging with me, man. We're going to get into the plays in just a second. It won't be a long show today. Just about 4 or 5 looks that I want to talk through. I do like the card for today. There's some really good looks on the board, and hopefully I've identified a couple of them. We also got some injury report manipulation going on. Not sure who's going to play and blah, 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 blah. So we'll see how all that ends up shaking out as well. Good morning, Lingowick. Says he's taking the Knicks on the money line today. Best of luck to you, my brother. And the Suns did not cover. They did not cover. You love to see the Suns not cover. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they didn't cover for me the other day either. So I get it. Foul with 0.3 seconds left yesterday for people who watched that. What up, DZ? Says, yo, top of the morning. Appreciate you for tapping in, gang. What's up, Joe? My guy, as always. Cup of Joe right behind him. What up, Can't Stop? Jake says he's going Wizards plus 12 at the crib. Wizards aren't at the crib, though. Wizards are on the road today, Jake, in Orlando. We're going to talk about that game. I do got to play in that game. What's up, Tariq? Says, good morning, Chris. I'm glad you're feeling better. Appreciate that, Tariq. Appreciate that for sure, bro. And my guy dropping Dimes. What's up, Dimes? Hope all is well with you, bro. Know you probably got some NCAA women's basketball that's about to be fire today. So appreciate my guy dropping Dimes as always, dropping those plays in the Discord. Mark, good morning, my brother. What's up, Gary? Mark says he lost Phoenix by the hook. I'm definitely done with him now. Yeah, sometimes it take an extra time or two, Mark. Nothing wrong with that, man. I've been there before. Let's jump into it for today, man. We'll start off with jaXon as we always do. jaXon is your AI sports betting handicapping tool, for player props and sides and totals. So you can just pretty much you can put any prompt in that you want to with jaXon, and jaXon will, spit out something based on not just something. It'll spit out some analysis based on what it is that you're looking to play or to fade. So today, simple prompt for jaXon: what's the best ATS? What's the best NBA pick ATS today? I'm not gonna go through and read the whole thing like I said until I get my all my strength back and all that good stuff. But jaXon likes Oklahoma City today. Oklahoma City minus the 9 against the Timberwolves, and it says here's why. So recent form: OKC 6-2-1 against the number. I hadn't even read all this. OKC 6-2-1 against the number. Shay's leading the league in scoring. Minnesota 3-7 ATS last 10. Missing key players like Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle due to injuries. OKC's dominance. They've been the league's best team this season, boasting a 44-10 record. Also been excellent on the road as a favorite, covering 64% of the time. That's a hell of a road percentage. What else we got here? I'm not reading through all this. I'm just skimming. So it talks about Timberwolves struggles, Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, hurting them for rebounding. They should struggle rebounding. Timberwolves ranked 25th in turnover percentage, 26th in pace, which plays into the Thunder's hand as they excel in transition and half-court defense. I do think that that's something that's interesting. It also correlates with one of the plays that I have listed that we'll talk about here in just a few. Let's see. What else? So recent form, OKC has covered 8 of the last 10 games, coming off a blowout against Utah. Also been consistent with equal rest, covering 73% of the time. So if the OKC Thunder got equal rest, they're 73% ATS. That is crazy. Darius Garland not present at shoot around. That's gonna be interesting. They don't play again until 6. They don't play again until 7, but that's gonna be interesting. Anyway, back here, Minnesota 3-7 against the spread last 10. Lack the depth due to injuries makes them hard to keep up with a high-powered Thunder team. So yeah, jaXon likes OKC minus the 9 in this spot. I did see it open at 7. It's being pushed to 9.5 on some books as well. So if you like jaXon, and jaXon was on Chicago plus the 5.5 yesterday, jaXon continues to produce winners, man. So that's what jaXon got for you there. You can ride with jaXon if you want to. I'm probably not taking the 9, but like I said, I do see it at 9.5, and I do think it's a solid bet. There's a way I'm looking in that game, and we'll talk about it in just a second. All right, so let's jump into what we do have. A couple games that I will be going through today. The first one is the Knicks and the Celtics. So we're still waiting on, I see this line moving, but I just want to double check the injury report real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Excuse me. Make sure I didn't miss anything. So let me just take a peek. Yeah, I didn't miss anything. All right, so the line did go up to this line. I think I got it written in my notes that this was at 8. I'm guessing that's what it opened at. It went up to 9, and now it's coming back down to 8.5. 8.5 consensus, and the total went up too. Open 231, up to 232 now. So you got to. This game is very difficult to bet, right? Without knowing the status of OG Anunoby and Josh Hart. Josh Hart didn't play in the last game. I think he's missed 2 straight games, and they. The Knicks have struggled in both of those games. They beat the Bulls by 2 or 3 in overtime, and then of course end up getting absolutely steamrolled against the Cleveland Cavaliers on the second leg of a back-to-back in their most recent game. Now OG is back on the injury report. He did hurt that. He ended up with another injury in the last game, so not sure if he's going to be able to play. This is kind of do or die for, in my opinion anyway, for the New York Knicks. They've really struggled against the top teams in both conferences, and that's what everybody's been kind of talking about. I don't want to ride the Knicks off, but this one's pretty simple, man. If there's nothing that tells me that the Knicks are better than the Celtics, and at current strength right now on today's date, they're not touching the stratosphere of what the Boston Celtics is doing right now. Boston, I heard Jason Tatum talk about it after the game. They just absolutely steamroll. Who did the Boston Celtics beat the other day? The Philadelphia 76ers. They steamrolled the Philadelphia 76ers. And I heard Tatum talk about, now's the time to kind of turn it on. Like we know what the goal is, and we know what we need to do to achieve that goal. It's time to kind of lock in. And that's scary, right? Because we know Boston has been playing with their food all season. Not so much recently though. 4-1 ATS, in their last 5 games. All 4 of the wins have come by 13 points or more. So when they win, they cover recently. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game in Toronto tomorrow, so not too much. They actually don't play tomorrow. They don't play tomorrow. I'm sorry. They play on Tuesday in Toronto. So not a first leg of a back-to-back. My apologies. But for the Knicks, I mean, they got a really bad taste in their mouth after getting steamrolled. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5. 0-6 against the spread versus teams that are at the top of each conference, and all of those games have been by, pretty big margins. So you look at the Knicks, just, Sam, it is what it is. They're the second worst defense last 5 games, 14th in offensive efficiency, but against the 4th most difficult schedule. Boston is probably one of the more difficult teams as well. Boston is thriving right now. 3rd best offense, 8th best defense, 15th most difficult schedule, and they shot the 3 really, really well, and that's really bad for the Knicks. Boston, 1st in frequency, 5th in accuracy over the last 5 games. I was reading some stuff that said that they're about to break so many records for attempted threes and threes made in the season. Like I said, it's a big problem for the Knicks because their defenses fell off a cliff, in specifically at the 3-point line. 29th in opponent accuracy 29th in opponent accuracy, and 21st in opponent above the break 3 frequency, where Boston takes most of their shots. We know Boston loves it. They live and love the top of the key for the 3-point shot. Boston has covered 6 of their last 7 games at the crib when they have won. So if they win, they have covered. And like I said, all of them by 13 points or more. So I don't want to write off the Knicks, but if they're gonna be shorthanded, I think you just take a Boston team total up and over. I think that even though both of these teams play pretty slow, Boston's efficiency from the 3-point line is just something that is difficult for me to see them not doing, especially with full strength. And they have a fully healthy roster. All the key players that matter are going to be available today. So I like Boston team total up and over more so than I'm not sure how much the Knicks are going to contribute here, but I do like Boston to be able to score the basketball. So I think their team total is like 120. If Josh Hart and OG Anunoby don't play, Boston probably scores 135 today. And then as far as player props go, I did lock in Mr. Kristaps Porzingis again. So we'll just slide over to not that I even got to keep showing this, but we'll just slide over really quickly to Outlier. And there is a link in the description if you guys are interested in checking out Outlier. You can use the link and sign up. You use the link to sign up, and you can get a 7-day free trial, so you can go through and kind of use this software for your own handicapping process as well. But looking at Porzingis, first quarter points, we've been cashing with this for quite a while now. I don't see a need to not run it back here again. So first quarter points, here we are. 6.5 is the number, but there is a 5.5, and that's what I ended up playing. This is the cool thing about Outlier as well, is you can go in and it was a 6.5, it was a 5.5, maybe it's gone now, but I played this at 5.5 maybe 30 minutes ago. So if you move this line down to 5.5, which here we go. All right, cool. So you move this down to 5.5. You can see that he's up and over in 4 straight. He's up and over in that's 8 of his last 9. Outside of the one game where neither team could score when they played against Cleveland, he's been killing this line. And the thing that I like about it the most, I keep saying this, is the minutes. For whatever reason, Joe is letting them kind of establish the game, get established in the beginning of the game. So Porzingis, played pretty much 10 minutes against Philly and out of a 12-minute quarter. And we saw that again, San Antonio, 7.8, 8.6 against Miami, against Dallas, 10.1. And, you can always think about the factor of him, stretching the floor, kind of bringing Kristaps, bringing Karl Anthony Towns away from the rim. He doesn't want to, guard out there. And he gets a matchup against his old team as well. So this is what I did play, but I do lean heavily towards the Boston Celtics team total to go up and over, just not wanting to catch that falling knife right now. But that's contingent upon OG Anunoby and Josh Hart playing. So I said a lot, wasn't expecting to talk that much, but those are my thought process. That's my thought process on this first game. Let's see. Lock Wages says, yo, Chris, I think Max Christie over is 12.5 points is sneaky under the radar play. He said, no, I've been paying attention. It could be under. It could be sneaky for most people. Max Christie's been looking good in Dallas, and they need him. I mean, they don't have a lot of their players are out right now, so I like that a lot. Lock Wages. I was actually looking through the beat reporter list for Dallas the other day, and I saw Kyrie said that he was actually a little frustrated uh, because Max Christie beat him to the gym the other day. And Kyrie says it's very, very rare that anybody ever beats him to the gym. He's always the first person there. Max Christie was there kind of reading his book as Kyrie came in. So, you just that's credit to his work ethic, like arriving early, being there before people, getting that extra time in, mentally being prepared. I like Max Christie a lot, man. I don't like him today a lot. I like Max Christie a lot. I couldn't talk you off, man. Best of luck. What's up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Dirty Jerry's? Joe says Knicks need everybody, but they have bounced back in these spots after getting blown out, and that's a fact. I don't really like fading teams. Shout out to my guy J Money. He told me this maybe 4 or 5 years ago, man. Don't really like fading teams off a 30-point loss or bigger, and the Knicks are coming off a 37-point loss. So I'm not on Boston minus the points. I know it looks easy. I'm not on it. I would just play it up and over. What up to my guy Malik says, what up, gang? Suns didn't cover on some stupid stuff. We move on. Stop fading your Bulls, Malik. I told you about that, man. It's like, nah, I'm just messing with you, man. Hope all is well, Malik. What up, Rain? Bet at your own risk says, what's good, Chris? Hope you're getting better daily. I took Derek White for his points at 14.5. He's averaging 18 of the last 10, and he's averaging 14 against the Knicks. That makes sense, bet at your own risk, because I just talked about how, Knicks can't guard the 3-point line. That's where Derek White lives, guarding the 3, shooting the 3. I agree. Dante says suspect game since the Knicks are coming off 40-point loss. Typically, Celtics been bad in this spot, but they been looking good. Yeah. So to your point, Dante, I put this in my notes. I forgot to share. The Celtics. If you're looking for something to back the Knicks, the Celtics are. Let's see. What did I put in my notes? Boston is 3-5 ATS playing. Oh, never mind. You know what? That's not applicable. Never mind. I forgot all about that. Let's see. Mark likes over. P says, give me Celtics minus 8.5. I can live with the results. Okay. That's what I was thinking as well, Mark. I saw 120.5 out there. That's where I was looking as well. Drop a dime says he'll go Knicks first half team total under 56.5. He says Celtics are 4-1 to 1 second, hold on. Let's check this text message. Oh man. He says the Celtics opponents are 4-1 to the under in the first half last 5. Knicks are 3-2 to the first half under last 5. Couple that with the potential absence of OG and Josh Hart, this should be a sneaky look. I was actually looking at this, dropping dimes. You probably saw this because we use the same. We both check out. I tell people all the time, check out Moneyballer. I did see this. I thought about a first half under in general, but the Knicks defense right now is just a little too scary for me to want to play it. But isolating the Knicks specifically, it makes a ton of sense. Celtics are locked in right now, man. They're really, really locked in. I gave out the numbers: 3rd best offense, 8th best defense. We know that those things correlate. When they're knocking down shots, they typically play pretty good defense. When the defense is playing well, their offense looks better. They're getting better shots, getting out and running in transition. This makes a ton of sense, dropping down. So I agree with that. GLB says no play for me now, but rested road dogs off of road loss with the total of 230 or higher, 32, 13, and 1 to the over this season. I like it. That supports the over. Jake says Wizards plus 13, fully healthy team playing a beat up Magic. They're not fully healthy, Jake. We'll talk about that game in just a second, but they're not fully healthy though. What's up, Lightbearer? Appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out to my guy Malik and everybody from Chicago, man, except the Bulls, unless you got a Chicago Bulls jersey on right now. Not a shout out to you. Relay says, what's up, Chris? Hope you're feeling better. I am getting a little bit better, man. You guys can probably tell. What's up, Jay, man? Appreciate you for tapping in. Let's jump into King of the Hustle. Let's jump into the next one. Like I said, I'm not going through all the games, man. I'm not going through all the games, but the ones I have a play in, I do want to share them with you all. So I bet Porzingis over his first quarter points, 5.5. The number's probably still available. I got it on DraftKings, 6.5 on most books. I still like it at 6.5. Let's move over to the next game. The Mavs and the Warriors. This is one I actually probably took the most time on. I'm really interested in this game, man. Very intrigued. And it's for a lot of different reasons. There's so many different dynamics. When I'm handicapping games, I love looking into the fine intricacies, and sometimes it doesn't matter at all, right? Sometimes you just look at the game, you pick the team that you think will win, you don't handicap it at all. That's not what I do, but I know some people, come in here and kind of say anything at times, and I see some of the stuff posted on, throughout different social media platforms. Anyway, this is an interesting game. I want to start with the injury report. So, and this is an early start game as well. So games gonna be on all day. They start at 1 o'clock. They don't end until about midnight. If you're watching the OKC and the Minnesota game. So this is a nationally televised game as well. We got the Dallas Mavericks. They got PJ Washington listed as questionable. That's big, right? Because he's really the only center that they have. Kessler Edwards is not a real center, but we know that Golden State also playing without a true center. Draymond is not even taller than Jimmy Butler. He's been playing center the last couple games, and Steve Kerr likes it. He wants to continue to play with that rotation. I love it too, because I got some money tied up on Golden State and a couple different future bets, and I just need them to keep cashing. I took them the other day against the Kings. Hopefully they can keep it going. Anyway, in this game, you will be without the Dallas Mavericks, without Caleb Martin. Of course, none of their bigs are there. Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, AD, Dwight Powell, all still listed as out. On the Golden State Warriors side of things, Kuminga's still getting healthy, but he will not be a part in this game. So then you got to start looking into the factors, right? You got a revenge factor here for Golden State. They just lost. It was 2 days before the All-Star break in Dallas. Both teams were on 1 day's rest. Golden State lost 111 to 107. They were actually laying 7.5 points in that game as a road favorite because, it was a big fade of the Dallas Mavericks without the services of all of their bigs. That game did go under, and they lost. They lost the game outright, 111 to 107. I think I mentioned that already. Game went under. The total was at 235.5 though, and this total opened a lot lower, 228.5. And I do think it's important to mention that PJ Washington actually wasn't available in that game, and that's the only thing that's kind of kept me off for taking Golden State in this spot. People have still bet Golden State though, because this opened last night at 8, and it's up to 9. And I was like, man, that 8 a little too rich for my blood. But pretty much, if you're betting this game, it's like, is Dallas gonna be able to keep it close, which they have been, doing recently, or does Golden State just run away with it and blow this team out? Because you're not wanting this team to win by 10. You want them to win by 13, 14 to secure, your money, and you not to be, kind of breathing heavy and having anxiety, sweating out a bet in this game. So that's what you're betting if you like Dallas in this spot, if you like Golden State in this spot. And I as much as I want to get to Golden State, I think the best play for me is looking towards the Dallas Mavericks team total under. I like it. I like that in this spot a little bit more than anything else. I haven't bet it quite yet, but that's what I'm really wanting to get towards. So Dallas, I looked in the last 5 games because it's been about that long since Dallas has been without their bigs, and it's been about that. It's been exactly 5 games since Jimmy Butler joined the team. So Dallas has been good recently. 3 straight wins. They're 5-1 straight up in their last 6, 6-0-1 against the spread in their last 7. But we also, another fine intricacy, right? First leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Lakers tomorrow. The Lakers, Luka, Kyrie, AD from the sideline, the 2 clash of organizations all play tomorrow. And I think that's one of the reasons why this line is so big, because the books are anticipating Dallas may run out of gas in this game and kind of save something for tomorrow when they actually play against the Lakers. That's big in my opinion. That's super big in my opinion. So actually, I looked at that wrong as well. My fault. Take that part away. They don't play tomorrow. They play on Tuesday. I thought I looked at that right. I looked at it wrong. So completely wipe that away from your memory. These teams, the Dallas Mavericks, don't play the Lakers tomorrow. They play on Tuesday. My apologies. I did mention look at that wrong. Outside of that though, what I like about Golden State with Jimmy Butler, one, they really stopped turning the basketball over a lot. Jimmy has brought in this sense of calm that, we don't need to play as fast. They've dropped their pace down a lot, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more. Not that they aren't still getting out and running, but they aren't turning the ball over, which means that they're not giving up a lot of points off turnovers. They've actually been a really good rebounding team as well. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in just a second. But I think those things kind of limit Dallas from being able to score the basketball here. It's also Jimmy's first game. He's making his Golden State Warriors debut, because before the All-Star break, Golden State was on a 6-game road trip. And then after the All-Star break, they've only played one game. That game was in Sacramento. So short travel back. But this is the first game for Jimmy in his Golden State Warriors home jersey. And I think that's pretty cool. 4-1 straight up, 4-1 against the spread. The only loss came against this Dallas Mavericks team. I already talked about the revenge that they have. They're actually a plus 13 in point differential, a defensive rating of 107.8, which is actually top 6 in the NBA. And like I mentioned, at pace, 19th in pace during that time frame. Golden State is just playing really good defensively, really taking care of the basketball. I like all of those things. I think Dallas struggles to get to 111. That's what their team total is. Sure, like I said, Dallas offensively, their rating, 117.8 last 5 games. That is top 10 in the NBA. They played the 8th easiest schedule though. They had a couple games in there against the King. They played against the Kings, a game against the Miami Heat, a game against the Pelicans. They also played a Houston team that was kind of depleted as well. All of those were their last 5 games. Now Dallas gets a big step up in competition, in my opinion. Last 5 games, which, like I said, is how long Jimmy's been a part of the team. Golden State, really good defensively. They're also playing below average as far as pace. 19th. Dallas, 24th in pace last 5 games. There's a reason that this total, is 6 points lower than the last one, in my opinion. All 5 of the Golden State Warriors opponents since Jimmy Butler has joined the team have actually gone under their team total. So I like Dallas team total under. Long way of saying Dallas team total under 10.5, I think, is the best number that is still available in the market right now. Just real quick, let me check it. Yeah, FanDuel got a -106 on a -110, right? On an under 110.5 right now. That's what I like the most in this game. I do think Golden State defense shows up big time here. All right, so what are we looking at in this one? I talked a lot. What's up, Swish? Says, yo, I'm a little late, but glad you're back, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that for sure. Try to keep it going. J-Man says Warriors 1-10 ATS on Sundays, 0-5 at the crib. Oh, man, it's terrible. They have Jimmy for any of those games, though, J-Man. Andrew says Jimmy buckets, Hemi buckets, 4-1 with Hemi buckets. Yeah, I needed to keep going. Bet at your own risk says I took the Mavs team total points over 110.5. They're averaging 117 last 10, averaging 118 against the Warriors in their last 7. Okay, so this is the exact opposite of what I'm going to bet. I'm gonna bet the under 110.5, but it's more so because, like I said, I did some digging, and this is not the Kings defense. This is not the the Heat defense that they played right before the All-Star break. This is not the Pelicans defense. So we're on opposite sides, but one of us got to win. Bet at your own risk. Joe says only worry with Dallas is having Lakers on deck. Yeah, I think it's a tad bit too many points, man. I don't want to lay this many points. I just think that the game's gonna slow down. The pace is gonna slow down. We're gonna see a grinded out style game, and that's what we saw in the last one. Like I said, that last total went under 231. It wasn't even close. It was 111 to 107. The Dallas Mavericks didn't even hit their team total in the last game, even though they won the game. So that's a testament to Golden State's defense. 5-0 are their opponents' team totals with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. I like it. What up to my guy Brian? Says, good morning, Chris. Feeling a little better, are you? Yeah, a Laker victory would do that. That's a fact. Says he's leaning Celtics and he likes the Mavs +9. Too many points for him. We'll see how it goes. Mark says he leans Golden State, but I have this at 7.5, 8. Butler effect, definitely something to consider, and I agree with that, man. This team is gelling. They're clicking right now. I've been paying attention to all of the, post-game interviews. I love what I'm hearing from Draymond, from Jimmy, from Coach Kerr. Like they're playing really good basketball right now. I'm looking forward to them cashing their team total over ticket and to make the playoff ticket. I got on them as well. What up to my guy Chad? Says morning guys, he took the Spurs -2, Cavs -4.5, and of course KP over his first quarter points. I like it, Chad. I'm right there with you on KP. Didn't even look into that Spurs game, but we'll we will talk about this Pistons game because I am interested in that one as well. Appreciate you for tapping in, Chad. Have a hell of a Sunday, bro. Let's see. Drop a dime says Mavs first half team total under. I thought about that too. I actually thought first half under overall. He says Mavs 4-1 to the first half, last 5. Jimmy first game at Chase Center would be a major turn up, which transfers into a heightened defensive effort. I'm right there with you, dropping dimes. I'm right there with you, bro. I like it. I think it's full game under 2, though. I do think it's full game under 2, but I do like this one a lot. Mavs first half team total under. Golden State been actually going under. Well, Mavs defense have been playing better when they're dog too. So we'll see how it goes. But I do like that one to go under as well. All right, just a couple more plays, couple more games I want to go through. The next one is the Washington Wizards and the Orlando Magic. I didn't even really look too much into like the side or the total. We'll start with the injury report real quick. We got a list of guys for Washington. I think it might have been Jake in the chat earlier said Washington had a clean injury report. Well, Sarr's listed as questionable. Bilal is listed as questionable. Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon already been ruled out. Marcus Smart already ruled out. So absolutely not a clean injury report at all. Not when you got 6 guys that are all rotational players on the injury report. And then on the opposite side for the Magic, Jonathan Isaac is listed as questionable, and Jalen Suggs has already been ruled out. So we look at the Wizards. They are 4-1 ATS last 5 games. Orlando has actually covered a couple games coming out of the All-Star break. They did go into Atlanta, get a big win, confidence boosting win, and covered that game as I think they're a 1.5 point favorite, even though they got out to a slow start. Then they come back home on the second leg of a back-to-back. Had a chance to actually beat the Memphis Grizzlies, but I think that was more so, not that I don't want to discredit Orlando, but Memphis did a terrible job of just late game execution. They looked like they just wanted to win and not cover that number the other day, and that's what we saw. They didn't cover. Orlando covered. So you look at this game for just for taking it for what it's worth. Orlando did smoke the Washington Wizards earlier this season. Back on November the 10th, they beat them 121-94 as 11.5 point home favorite. The Wizards, they've lost 5 in a row, but they've covered, like I said, 7-3 last 10, 3 straight covers. They did get the Bucks, catch the Bucks on the second leg of a back-to-back. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game at home against Brooklyn tomorrow, so you don't like that if you like the Washington Wizards. Orlando, nice little homestand that they got coming up here. Haven't really had to leave, do too much traveling at all since the All-Star break. And they've covered, like I said, 3 in a row now, even if you go back to the All-Star break. So what I like in this game, though, just going straight to what I like, let's go over to Outlier because it is a player prop. And it's very, very similar to the Onyeka Okongwu play that we made the other day, taking Onyeka Okongwu under. So his number is actually, I think, still available because I actually just made this play right before the show right before the show started. The player props have been really good to me, man. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but if you've been tailing, then we've been cashing the player props. So I'm looking at SAR, and I don't want to recreate the wheel here, so I'm just go back to my write-up that I put over on YouTube. I'm liking SAR's points and rebounds to go under. So you see this numbers at 19.5. You can also get a 20.5 on this says BetMGM has a -125, but I played this on Bet365 and they had a -120. So I drunk a little bit of juice and I'm cool with that. But let's jump into it, man. So looking at SAR is a nice young rookie coming off a really good game against the Bucks, right? 22 points, 7 rebounds. It's not that though. First of all, he's listed as injury. He's listed as questionable with an ankle injury. As we get updates that Josh Hart and OG Anunoby are game time decisions that helps us. No way possible at all. But anyway, going back to SAR, listed as questionable due to an ankle injury, which could impede his ability to perform successfully today. And he gets the Onyeka Okongwu matchup, man, from a few days ago where we bet against Onyeka Okongwu, against this Orlando Magic defense for the same exact reason. So they're player profiles match up really, really well. Hopefully Jonathan Isaac plays. That'd be another lengthy body for Orlando to throw out there to make it hard for Alex Sarr to be able to score. So Sarr is averaging a touch under 26.5 minutes per game in his last 10. I think it was 23.6 to 26.3 to be exact. He's under his 20.5 points plus rebounds in 7 of his last 10 games and 7 of his 8 games against teams that are top 10 in spot up defense. The Orlando Magic are, I think, 6th and number 1. My fault. Number 1 in spot up defense. That's where he scores 28% of his points from spot up. He's also under in 6 of his 10 games where he is playing against teams that are top 10 in restricted area defense. And we know that Orlando, same thing with Onyeka Okongwu, does a really good job of keeping teams from scoring the basketball in the paint. Orlando, I think they're number 6 in that department as well. So I did play Alex Sarr to go under. You can see from this chart here, he's stayed under this number in 7 of his last 10 games as well. And he did play this team one time earlier this season. He had 14 points and 3 rebounds. So I know that they don't have a lot of big men, on the team now, but I don't think Sarr is going to be able to go in here and do, anything that he wants to do against this Orlando Magic defense. Also, first leg of a back-to-back, if it's a blowout, who even knows if he plays, his full complement of minutes. And, there can be some times for Sarr. I just want to go through and show you guys this real quick, and then I'll move over to the next, go through the comments. But there can be times where Sarr's minutes can, look a little wonky at times. You can see him here against the Bucks, 25.6. Against the Pacers right before the break, this was an overtime game, 31.6. Against Dallas, just 11.3, 30, 28, 27, 21. So the minutes can be, a little sporadic at times for Alex Sarr. And I love the guy. I think he's going to be a good rookie. Not today, though. I need Alex to not do anything today. I took him under 20.5 points plus rebounds here. So let's get back to see what you guys are thinking. I didn't really look too deeply into the side or to the total. I don't really want to lay this many points with Orlando, but I do think that there's a way they could cut off the Washington Wizards offense, especially with Washington being on the first leg of a back-to-back. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one, if anything at all. Spurs plus 100 last night, locked Smith says. Tyler says, how about our Lakers? Luka has finally arrived. Boy, he looked good last night, man. I did not expect that from Luka, but I'll take it. Chad says, I haven't even been handicapping games with 8 or higher spreads. Complete skips this time of the year. Okay. Justin posted some college basketball in the disc. He said not in the Discord. Oh, no, he put it in the Discord, but it's for people who are not in the Discord. Justin went crazy yesterday. I did happen to see that yesterday in the Discord. I think it's 5-0. I saw 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 recap. I was like, Jesus, okay. I like it, Justin. Stay hot, bro. Stay hot for sure. Let's see. Washington first quarter, Brian says, is gambling, but it's the only way I look at it. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off, Brian. Washington's been covering these big numbers and running out of gas late. Orlando been actually coming out really, really slow for whatever reason. Both games out the All-Star break so far. Matter of fact, I'm glad you pointed this out. First game out the break, they played against Atlanta. They got down by like 15, 16, 17 points in the first quarter. Had to fight all the way back to get back into that game. Second leg of a back-to-back, second game after the break. They play at home against the Memphis Grizzlies. They go down big in that game as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if, Washington was able to keep this one, within the number early in this game, but it's not anything that I'm putting my money on. But it makes a lot of sense, Brian. I would agree with that. Drop of Dimes is Washington, and he likes the game to go under the first half anyway. Washington and Orlando under first half. He says Magic games are 7-3 to the under last 10, 13-7 to the under last 20. With the Magic coming off a loss, I expect the defensive intensity to be there early, and I agree with that. They didn't lose. They covered, but they did not win that game. So I'm right there with you. Dimes. I could definitely see that. I would lean this way with you as well. I might even get there and play this with you. First half under 110. I like it. Chad says Magic 1-10 plus 225 would be my way to go. I can see that. Them not covering, but winning the game between that margin, and you get a nice payout too, plus 225. I don't think anything's wrong with that at all. All right, let's move over to, like I said, I'm not going through all the games, but I do want to talk through just a couple of these. This Pistons and Hawks game is very intriguing to me, man. It's not a game that I spent too much time on. Actually, what I want to do is I want to go over to Moneyball real quick. I like showing all the resources, and sometimes I don't show Moneyball all the time. So let's go over to Moneyball real quick. For people who are new to the show, there is a link in the description. You can use Moneyball to handicap, sides and totals in the NBA and the NFL too. WNBA is right around the corner. You can use it. MLB, same thing. Spring training has started. So check it out. You can get 50% off using that link in the description for your first month. But let's go through this real quick. So we got the Pistons and the Hawks. I saw this line, I think, opened at 2 in favor of the Detroit Pistons. And that's the side that I want to be on, man. I do think the Hawks are going to start being a fade. Not necessarily they're going to come out and just roll over for teams, but I like what the Pistons are doing right now. Pistons are playing really good basketball, man. This is the in-season revenge. They actually beat this Hawks team twice at the beginning of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just go back and look at it real quick. So they played on the 3rd, February the 3rd. You can see that right here. Atlanta lost that one. Atlanta won that one. But then they played on November the 8th, and Detroit won by 1. And they played on January the 22nd, and Detroit won that one too. So yeah, Detroit actually won the first 2 games. You can see that right here. Atlanta won the last one, 132-130. I remember this game because it was in Detroit, and Detroit was laying points as a home favorite, and I still wasn't into laying points with the Detroit Pistons as a home favorite quite yet. So you get the revenge here, right? As it says, in-season revenge. It does say a travel fatigue spot, at least 4 straight games on the road, but this is broken up, of course, with the All-Star break. So you take that with a grain of salt. First leg of a back-to-back. We can see if we go down here, they got the Clippers tomorrow, but this is in a conference game. I think that this one means more than the Clippers tomorrow. Not that they're gonna try to lose tomorrow, but I don't think that we'll look at some situational stuff. So then you got for the Hawks, well rested, 2 days of rest advantage, first leg of back-to-backs for them. They got a game against the Miami Heat tomorrow. All right, so we got baller system on back row favorites with revenge. I like that. I like that Detroit's already beat this team twice. And what I show you what I really like, and these are last 5 games. The reason I want to look at last 5 games specifically for Detroit is because they've been really playing really good basketball last 5. And then for the Hawks, they've also been playing some pretty good basketball. But a couple things really stuck out to me, and this is why I like Moneyballers so much, right? You can look at the offensive rating for the Detroit Pistons. This team has been really good. 122 offensive rating, but a 105.04 defensive rating. This is the second best defense in the last 5 games. Let me find out. Check out the Pistons, man. Playing fast, right? Top 10 in pace. We know Atlanta loves to play fast. They're 5th in pace as well. Look at that assist to turnover ratio. 2.11, top 10. Atlanta was also up there, 2.49, right? Effective field goal percentage, top 5. Effective field goal percentage allowed, top 10. This is a Pistons team that I think should be able to come in here and get a win. And this is the other thing I like about the Pistons. I watched them do this to the San Antonio Spurs the other day. Just dominate the paint, man. Just absolutely dominate the paint. Look at this. Look at what they're doing. This is effort, right? Offensive rebound percentage, number 1 in the league, getting their own offensive rebound about 35% of the time. Offensive rebounds allowed, top 5. This is a really good rebounding team. That's what you need to come in here and steal one again. I guess you can call it stealing one against the Atlanta Hawks. Turnover rate force, top 6. They're playing really good defense right now. You can see the scoring right here, 124.3, only giving up 105. Points off turnovers, 5th. They are allowing some points off turnovers. Where Atlanta is, top 10. They're scoring off the turnover. That scares me just a tad bit. But look at this. getting out, running in the break, 20 points off in the fast break, second chance points, pretty much 20 per game, which is first in the NBA. I think that there is a way that, you know, they're going to be able to score the basketball. If we look at paint, which is where they live, look at this, paint attempts, 50 pretty much, right? Top 5 in the NBA. Paint attempts allowed. Hawks not doing a great job there. Look at paint field goal percentage allowed. Allowing teams to shoot 61% in the paint, which is bottom 5 in the NBA. And look at this. The Pistons, top 10 in the NBA in field goal percentage inside the paint. I think the additions that Atlanta made, you know, or subtractions, whatever you want to call them at the All-Star break, it gave them some guard depth, right? You got Karis LeVert, Gorgeous Niang, you know, guys like what's my guy name that came from the Clippers? Trey Man. That's not Trey Man. What's my man name? Came off the bench. I can't think of his name. It's gonna kill me if I can't think of it. What's his name? I gotta find it now. Hold on. Terrence Man. I knew it was something, man. Yeah, Terrence Man. Like I like those additions, but I'm not like as big, I think, as most people are on like Gay. You know, who plays some 4 and some 5 for them, or like Capella, who they're not really utilizing at all anymore. He's playing less than 20 minutes per game. Guys like Onyeka Okongwu are okay, but I think that Detroit should be able to do what they want to do inside the painted area, man. So I do like Detroit. I missed the best of the number at 2. It's up to 3 now. I did see it go back down to 2.5. But now it's back up to 3, and I agree with the movement going there. So not sure if I'll play the 3 or if I'll just lay the money line, but I do think Detroit is the right side. I think they can go in and steal one today in Atlanta, even though Atlanta has been covering and playing some pretty good basketball. So those are my thought processes. And you can see some of the straight up stuff and the ATS stuff. Pistons 4-1 against the spread last 5. Hawks 1-4 ATS in the first half. 0-2 as a home dog. Atlanta as a Detroit as a road favorite. Look at them actually out here covering games. 3-0 against the spread in their last 5, in their last 3 games on the road as a favorite, man. I like to see all of that. They also scoring. Look at that 5-0 against to their team total up and over in their last 5 games. So I like it, man. You come down here, look at Atlanta. Their opponents 2-0 to the over on their team total. So Detroit should be able to score the basketball, in my opinion here. I know I'm not looking at the biggest sample, but this is, you know, what I kind of wanted to maximize, because I think this is the way to do these two teams are going. So yeah, I say all that to say I like the Detroit Pistons here in this spot. I like them a lot. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. And then I think it's one more game maybe that I want to talk about, and then I'm getting up off here. I'm got a lot of stuff to do on Sunday. Yeah, one more game we'll talk about in just a second. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one real quick. I can't today, Aaron. Can't today, my brother. Chad likes Pistons. He says Pistons is the play. He says Malik Beasley 3's worth the look. He took 2. He's been sniping. Yeah, he's been really, really good, man. He's been really, really good. Shout out to my guy Prop Bomb. I saw on Twitter he had been said he'd been playing Tobias Harris first quarter points, which I'm not a big Tobias Harris guy. I haven't been for the last 5 years. But yeah, Tobias Harris and Malik Beasley been hooping. So yeah, maybe a Cade Cunningham assist prop as well. I can see all of those. Tasha says she'll just go team total up and over for Atlanta. I couldn't talk you off of that. J-Man says Atlanta 8-1 to the under. Orlando? Oh, Orlando. Okay. Mark says he bet Detroit as well, playing good physical ball. I like it, man. I don't think it's a reason to fade it. Higo dropping downs with the Tobias Harris look. Okay. Over 16.5 points and assists. 100% hit rate last 5, 90% last 10. Had 24 against them on February the 3rd. I like it. I like it, Dons. And I don't like Tobias, but I like to play a lot. And Taylor coming in here with the Malik Beasley over his 4.5, over his 4 threes, and he likes him to hit 5. Hawks allowing the 26 most points via above the break 3. Malik Beasley gets 56% of his points at that shot zone with 21 minutes versus teams that are bottom 10. And above the break 3 defense, he has hit 4 in 12 of the 14 games. You gotta love a hit rate like that. And he's hit 5 in 9 of the 14 games as well. So a look towards Beasley. I think I just want to lay the points with Detroit, but I like this a lot, man. It makes a lot of sense. Tariq also likes Pistons team total up and over 120. He says 121.5 now. I like that. I also thought about, I know it's sneaky and I know it's crazy, but I also thought about playing Atlanta team total under. This Hawks defense is giving up 105 points per game, man. I think they can hold Atlanta down. Maybe I'm tripping, but I think Atlanta goes under their team total as well. I think the bet is going to be just the spread though, or the money line. I think I saw minus 140 out there. It's typically a cutoff for me is about minus 140. So I think you can still get minus 140 on the money line. Because that's what you really need, right? You need them to win the game. Oh, you can get a minus 135 right now. That's even better. Glad I didn't pull the trigger yet. DraftKings got a minus 135 for Detroit money line. Well within my acceptance level for one to place a bet here. Bet at your own risk. As he played Pistons team total over as well. Like it. So a lot of people liking that. Good morning, Nayeli. She says, listen, the dogs were barking yesterday. Good call, Chris. You know what? Every dog covered yesterday. I went back and looked at it this morning. I typically do. Every dog covered yesterday except the Hornets. Hornets got absolutely steamrolled. I'm interested to see what they do when they play Sacramento tomorrow, because Sacramento, for people who didn't watch, Dog Christie lit into the Sacramento Kings after they got smoked against the Golden State Warriors. But that's for another day. What up, Niley? Hope you have a great day. Appreciate you for tapping in as always. 77 figures likes Pistons as well. Since last time in Atlanta, they slapped the Hawks up. Bad matchups for the Hawks. I agree with that. Jared Allen present at shoot around. Did see that. Appreciate you, TG. Because I was looking for Terrence Mann. I couldn't think of what the boy first name was. Say what the man first name was. Save my life. No pun intended. Mark knows Moneyball is a good tool. I agree with that. All right, let's see. Switch says, if the bias Harris hits, we should all pitch in and get Chris a jersey. Nah, don't do that, bro. I don't want a Tobias jersey. Nah, I'm good. There's some jerseys I want. Tobias ain't one of them, man. I appreciate you, though, Switch. You know, they say sometimes it's the thought that counts. Whoever came up with that was a liar. It's never the thought that counts. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. It depends on what the gift is. It ain't always the thought that counts, though. But I appreciate the gestures, Swish. All right, let's go to the last game I want to talk about, man. Like I said, I skipped over a lot of them. Thunder and the Timberwolves. I didn't know jaXon was going to talk about it, or that was going to be a top play for jaXon. But what I'm looking at here, man, and it's just simple. It's simple for me. Matter of fact, I'll go back over to Moneyballer real quick, so just so you can see some of the stuff that I'm seeing. All right, so let's get to last game on the board that I want to talk about. I'm looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves team total in this spot. This was before jaXon even mentioned anything. I'm just trying to figure out how Minnesota is going to score 111 points. We start with the injury report first, which we always should. Minnesota, not that they haven't played some decent basketball recently. They actually just beat this Oklahoma City Thunder team. I was on OKC minus the 7 right before the night before the All-Star break. They were at home as a dog, getting about the same amount of points as they're getting right now. I think it actually might have even closed at like 11. They were shorthanded in that game, and Rudy Gobert was out. He's out today. Dante DiVincenzo was out. He's out today. Julius Randle was out. He's out today. Anthony Edwards listed as questionable. He ended up playing. He's not on the injury report today. Something tells me OKC has this one circled, and a large part of what I'm listening to is just the numbers, right? The numbers tell me that OKC are really, really good in revenge spots. So when we look at some of the situational stuff before I get into my notes, you got double-digit in-season revenge. They did get smoked in that game. If we go down here, we can see that the last time that they played, they were laying. You can see the line is right here. So they were laying 9.5 points as a road favorite. Like I said, very similar to the line today. They lost that game, got smoked by the Timberwolves, 116-101. And the Timberwolves, for whatever reason, not a team that you really want to fade as a dog. If we come down here and look at it, let's just go full season real quick. I want to show y'all something. The Timberwolves are actually really good as a dog. Let me just see where we are. Our ATS as a dog. As a home dog, here we go. 3-1 in the first half, 2-2 against the spread for the full game. So it's not like this is a home dog specifically. It's not like they absolutely get mollywopped and kind of ran over. But to Jackson's point, with equal rest, which I didn't even know, Minnesota's defense is just really. I mean, OKC's defense is really, really good. Now, when you check the injury report today, they're gonna have everybody. Like outside of AJ Mitchell, you got what's my guy name with the bald head? They used to play for the Bulls and the Lakers. Caruso. Caruso's gonna be in there. You got Chet Holmgren starting with Isaiah Hartenstein. That defensive lineup is absolutely crazy how good they can be. And I'm thinking that because they have revenge, it's a really good spot for them here. When I looked into it, right, OKC and revenge spots this season, when they have rest, they've only played one without rest, and they lost that game to Dallas. But when they have rest, they're 5-0 straight up, 4-1 against the number, 4-1 to the under. Most importantly, though, their opponents are 5-0 to their team total under. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting OKC to come in here and just kind of lay the wood. Pause. Just kind of come in here and absolutely dominate this OKC team, this Minnesota team. OKC has given up on average 102 points per game in revenge spots this season, and those were to the likes of Golden State, Dallas, Houston, Cleveland, Milwaukee. So I do expect for us to see a very good defensive effort because they lost that game going into the All-Star break against the same team the other day. If we just go I think I was looking at last 5 games for Minnesota. They've kind of been all over the place. Let's see. Excuse me. All right, so you can see team total records. Minnesota 3-2 to the over on their team total. OKC opponents, though, here we go, 4-1 to their team total under last 5 games. So OKC's defense has picked it back up, and that's what we should expect, right? If I look at, I'm gonna slide off of Moneyballer and just go look at my numbers from the way that from my model. Minnesota offense, 110.3 offensive rating, which is 20th in the NBA over the last 5 games. And I don't even gotta. I could actually show y'all that here. Let's see. Here we go, right here. 111.05, 21st offensive rated team last 5 games. Now you take out the likes of Rudy Gobert, who is going to get you some second chance opportunities. Who's going, I guess he's going to score some points in the paint. I don't know how difficult that was going to be with, Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein out there now. But I just think we see a little bit more oomph in this game from Minnesota, from OKC after getting kind of trounced in that last game right before the All-Star break. We just saw them lock up the Jazz. I think the Jazz scored 107 points in that last game. So I like this one. I like the team total under 110.5 a little bit more than anything else. OKC on the full season are the best defense on the road and at home and overall. Defensive rating 105, both at home, 105.8 on the road, and on the full season 105.4. So this is what I like a little bit more than anything else here is the team total under for the Minnesota Timberwolves specifically. I think that they're gonna struggle to score the basketball. All right, so let's go back, and then that's it. So I'll do a quick recap, but I want to go through the comments, see if we have thoughts on this game, and then I'm gonna get ready to get up off of here. I appreciate you, real DJX. GOB says today is Tobias rebounds day. Okay. Drop it down, says play Wolves team total under before the sun came up. I love the alignment, drop it down. I'm glad we agree, bro. I'm glad we agree. 111 is a lot of points to score. Against okay, I'm kind of puzzled. I wrote it down last night. I woke up this morning. I didn't play it. I woke up this morning and I'm like, this ain't move. Like, what's going on here? But sometimes I do that and then it starts to move and then I don't get the best of the numbers. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in because I do see FanDuel dropping to 109.5 right now as I speak, honestly. So 110.5 minus 112 is available on DraftKings. That's the best number right now. DraftKings got a minus 112. I'm gonna go ahead and play DraftKings because it is. I'm looking now. It is starting to get juice. It's minus 125 on ESPN Bet, minus 120 on Bet365. I ain't trying to lay that type of juice, so I am gonna go ahead and lock this one in real quick. And shout out to DraftKings. They make it real easy to put your bets in, so I can talk to y'all for like 15 seconds and put the bet in while I'm doing it. But I'm gonna go ahead and lock this in before the line starts to move too much. And I lied. My live eye screen ain't update because it's minus 115 instead of minus 112. But that's cool because minus 115 is still the best number on the board. With Bet365, got a minus 115 as well. So I'll play on DraftKings because I don't typically play on DraftKings. But yeah, give me OKC to come in here and dominate defensively and take this Timberwolves team total under 110.5. Bet is placed. Let's cash, Downs. Let's cash, my brother. Swiss says he says player prop he took Ant to go under his 28.5 points. I like it. Shout out to my guy Jacob. Jacob was on Ant. I think his points and assists under, if I remember correctly, before the All-Star break, and Ant went crazy in that game. I don't expect that to happen again. Also, I'm glad you mentioned this, Swish, because also I heard Lou Dort talk about wanting to win Defensive Player of the Year. It's a great opportunity to showcase and highlight. Not that he hasn't been doing it all season. He's the best on-ball defender. But, now that Wemby, who won't win Defensive Player of the Year, is not there, it's a great opportunity for somebody else to come in and be able to, do that same thing. So to be able to, do that. So he does want Defensive Player of the Year. That would lead to an Ant struggling in this game. I couldn't talk you off of that. Is this true, UG? Do they play again tomorrow? I totally missed that. Because like I said, I'm looking at the game. Let me double check that real quick. You could be right. Let's see. You are right. Yeah, maybe they'll get him tomorrow. I typically like to take the dog in the first game and the favorite the next day. But with OKC losing already, I'll take OKC in this one. Especially with them having some rest in this one too. That last game before the All-Star break, thank you for pointing this out, UG. That last game before the All-Star break, OKC was on the second leg of a back-to-back. Remember, they had beat Miami 115-101. Remember, Miami scored 8 points in the fourth quarter, and OKC still ended up covering that 14-point spread, even though they went into the fourth quarter down double digits. Let's see. Even though my Thunder are looking to get some revenge against the Wolves, I took the Wolves to cover the number tonight. Okay. DC Sean likes Mobley over his points. Bond says OKC first quarter, first half, full game. heavy on OKC today. Yeah, OKC has been coming out and kind of dominating early. I think they got up by, I mean, I know it's the Jazz, but I think they were up by 22 at halftime against the Jazz the other day. I also think there's some validity to, kind of looking around and seeing what other teams are doing and kind of sending, silent, I wouldn't call them warning shots, but just like, hey, look, we doing the same thing over here too. And if you are OKC and you're watching what Boston's doing, recently, if you're OKC and you're watching what Cleveland is doing, what they just did to the New York Knicks, you got to be able to send that same type of message to teams as well. Like, all right, cool. Y'all won by 25. Cool. He got a 25-point win for us too. So, that's what I'm thinking, man. We'll see. We'll see. But that thought process popped in my head this morning too. So we'll see how it goes, man. I wish you guys the best of luck today on whatever it is that you are betting. Real quick, appreciate you, Ken. Appreciate you, bro. I had to throw a little Laker love on today after Luka wanted to hit all them shots last night, man. I got to get a Luka jersey. I still don't got a Luka jersey. I bought the AD jersey because I never had an AD jersey when he was on the Lakers, but I didn't get a Luka jersey yet. I feel like you got to make me earn it. And 16 points in the first quarter against Denver in Denver. That's good. That's real good. As a Laker fan, I'm trying to tell you, I can't tell you the last time we won in Denver. Man, we've been getting smoked in Denver, but it feels like 20,000 years. So that felt real good last night, man. I'm glad I kept my money in my pocket because I considered betting Denver. Shout out to the Lakers, man. It did make me feel good. Real quick, other games. I'm not gonna tell y'all anything because I didn't look into them. Like I said, the Phoenix and Toronto game had Phoenix as a 1.5 point dog. That was crazy to me. I know Toronto is not. I know Phoenix sucks. We've been talking about Phoenix sucking, but are they gonna lose to Toronto? I'm not sure. I do see that they've shifted back to being a favorite now, up to 1.5. I see a 2 on the board as well. You still can get, Phoenix +1 right now. They are 2-9 straight up, 3-7-1 against the spread, playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. They've lost 3 in a row in that spot. So take that for what it's worth. What else didn't I cover? I didn't cover Clippers and Pacers because Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard are both listed as questionable. Not sure if they're going to play. Miami and Milwaukee. I'm not sure if if Giannis and Dame are going to be on a minutes restriction, but if they both play, I do like Milwaukee. I think that they win and cover the spread against Miami today. Miami's just not a team that I really want to bet on right now. Even as a dog, I think Milwaukee is leaps and bounds better than Miami right now, especially with Milwaukee being at home. San Antonio and New Orleans. I have no idea why New Orleans is a favorite. Like, I know San Antonio is not good without Wemby, not as good without Wemby, but I mean, the Pelicans, do they want to win games? I wouldn't say yes to that. The Pelicans have absolutely not been great, man. Now, a great bet is probably going to be Zion, right? Get downhill. They have nobody outside of Jeremy Sohan. And Jeremy Sohan can't stay in front of Zion either. So a look towards Zion over his points prop, I think, is absolutely something I would be looking at today. The Memphis and Cleveland game, I'm not trying to rack my brain to figure out if Darius Garland and Jared Allen are going to play or not. So I didn't look into that game too much at all. I did see that it opened. I think I wrote in my notes like 5.5, and it's went up to 6, and then it was back down to 5.5. So we'll see how that goes. And I think that's the rest of the slate for the games that I didn't cover, but just kind of giving you guys some thoughts on the rest of them. And that'll be the show for today, man. The recap is here. The things that I bet are in green. The things that I lean are actually in red, as they always are. Just so you just for transparency purposes, so you know what I bet and what I'm looking towards. Now, I did bet this Minnesota team total, so I do need to change this to green. I am on Minnesota team total under 110. I actually just bet that while we've been doing the show. Probably gonna get there with Detroit, maybe money line, maybe minus the 2.5 if I can find it. Game does not start until 6:10 though, so I got some time to make my mind up there. I want to try to find a couple more player props as well, man. So if you're interested, there is a link in the description where you can sign up and get access to all my plays. When I do make them, they'll come directly to your email inbox. I also share plays at times in the Discord. as well. And if you email me at ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's, I can send you the link to the Discord as well. Where it's not just myself in there, but Les Bettick crew is running. I created a channel for just those guys, and they've been absolutely crushing it, killing it. Got their own show coming up, as they're doing their own show as well. Got their own channel. Shout out to Miss Jenkins, she in there. Miranda giving out plays left and right, cashing, player prop, size, totals. And it's a Reem, like it's a Jacob, it's a lot of guys in there sharing action, man. Just with the one common goal, right? To have some decency and some respect for others, but also let's have fun and make some money, man. So I appreciate everybody and appreciate those guys and girls for sharing looks and just being part of the community. So that's the long version of what was supposed to be the short show for today, man. Best of luck on all your action for today, man. I do hope you guys find some ways to be profitable today. It's a lot of things to like. The resources are all here. Check them out. Hopefully we're back to regularly scheduled programming for tomorrow. There is 8 games on the board for tomorrow. So hopefully we can find some looks for tomorrow as well, man. Best of luck on all your action today. As always, enjoy your Sunday, man. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm out.